Hello everyone in EDU 605. Today we will be talking about a very exciting type of assessment, performance assessment. Performance assessment is an assessment based on observation and judgment. We observe or review a performance or product and make a judgment about its quality. Performance assessment is essentially subjective. Our challenge is to make this subjective form of assessment as objective, free of bias and distortion, as possible, by making it more systematic. Students should be involved in the aspects of performance assessment. We should involve students in assessment by directing them to the features of work that constitute a quality performance and enable them to judge levels of quality for themselves. The only requirement of performance assessment is that the task elicits the desired skill or product so that it is capable of being judged. Criteria must present a clear and accurate picture of what constitutes quality. That's where rubrics come in. The goal of using scoring guides should be to define quality, and not just to provide a scoring mechanism or justification for giving a grade. Rubrics are always works in progress. Allow for traits to be added or deleted as well as traits and descriptors to be refined. The number of levels in a rubric increase as raters feel the need to differentiate the levels of quality further. Teachers can revise the rubric to achieve parallel content. For example, a characteristic needs to be mentioned in one level of the rubric as well as all other levels, and state rubrics may need to be adjusted for classroom use if it does not have enough description to be useful for students, and, of course, rubrics need to be student-friendly. If you want the rubric to provide descriptive feedback and to function as a self-assessment and goal-setting tool for students, it is to your advantage to include descriptive phrases for feedback at the outset. For example, rather than say lacks fluency, instead say speaks slowly with hesitations. Select samples for examples that illustrate well what is meant by each trait at each achievement level. We call these models, anchors or exemplars, to help attain consistency in regards to teacher scoring, and to help students better understand the expectations and what each level looks like in concrete terms. Great performance tasks must have alignment between the task and the rubric, and both must reflect the learning target accurately. Refer to Figure 7.6 in our textbook for the task rubric summary, which talks about content, clarity, feasibility, fairness, accuracy, and sampling. Now let's talk about individual work or group work. Group work is fine if one of your targets is to determine how well students work in groups. But if your target is to ascertain individual achievement, a group product or presentation will not suffice. Test developers suggest having students work in groups to get started, making sure everyone is beginning the task with a similar knowledge base, and then have students work alone to create a product or perform a skill. If our goal for the performance assessment is to create a written product, it can be helpful to answer the questions that writers must ask of themselves in order to write well. We can call them RAFTS, which stands for role, audience, format, topic, and strong verbs. I hope that you have learned a little about performance assessment. Thanks so much for listening. Now let's dance.